Hey guys, I'm back with another update to my Xyz Shark deck. Finally, post-ROTA, this deck has some more extenders, has a new couple extra deck monsters, only one of which we're actually running. But I'm super happy with the new stuff that's been added. It's definitely changed up my end board a lot, no longer doing triple toads, but we'll trade it in for the layered interactions, which have been really cool. So without further ado, we'll stop being around the bush. I'll go ahead and get into it. So let's go ahead and start with the main deck. We are on 3 Buzzsaw Shark. Still a good normal summon in the deck. Now, it didn't really work as a one-card combo before, but now with LeVirtue Dragon, uninterrupted, you can get it a lot farther with just a single Buzzsaw Shark in your hand than you could before. So that's really sick. 3, the Surfacing Big Jaws, have been liking this card quite a lot. It does suck that it is weak to 2 of the biggest hand traps in the game. However, you know, we'll take it as we can. Following this card up on top of a Buzzsaw Shark is really good because most people are going to throw it down on the Buzzsaw Shark anyways, because they will sense the immediate Bahamut Shark that will follow it. But if you get to activate a spell in response to that, having the big jaws to be able to special summon from your hand is really nice. We're on 3 Abyss Shark. This card is a lot better, in my opinion, now than it was pre-ROTA. So I'm much more happy with this card. If you look at my old video, I said that I didn't like this card so much, but now it has some better targets to add, most specifically Drake Shark. So I'm a lot happier with how this card is. We're on 1 Drake Shark now. This card, if you get it in your hand, does kind of suck because you will have to use it probably as a normal summon if you want to get it in there. However, you can dump it off the effect of Fishborg Harpooner and add it back to your hand off of the effect of LeVirtue Dragon, which you could then special summon it down off of that. So this card does have some versatility in that respect. We are still on 2 Xyz Remora. This is a card that could probably be cut down to 1, but I do still like to have it in my hand sometimes if I can't get the search off. So we're on 2. We are still running 3 Fishborg Harpooner. I did not honestly consider cutting this one down even for a little bit. It is just so much more helpful to be able to use this effect to get off the Surfacing Big Jaws, because you're not always going to get the spell effect off, especially with the absence of the 7th Tachyon in this deck. So this being able to get your special summon off of the Big Jaws instead of eating up your normal summon with it is still good for that reason. On top of that, because it is a fish, putting it in the graveyard off of the effect of Buzzsaw Shark does also help you get a really long way, especially if you have the Xyz Remora in your hand. Next, we are on the 1 single Crystal Shark. It's not necessarily my favorite at this point, especially now that I'm running 1 less Kraken, but it is still pretty good. It can be sent off of the effect of the Ice Barrier, and then you can add something else back and still be able to summon this down. So it does still have some flex in that area, but there's only 2 real targets to be able to summon anything off of this from. So, and then we are at the 1 Minairuka, having this in your hand or searching it if you're going full combo uninterrupted, and then activating its effect to special summon it down. Then you could use it as a LeVirtue stream, Virtue Stream target. So it is still pretty good for that, and it does help to just have some extra extenders in case you do run into interruption. That's it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells. The Armored Xyz package. Finally got to cut the old spell, which is great. I didn't really like it. The 1 Virtue Stream, it's searchable, and it is a great card. This card is performing a lot better than I thought it would. I didn't think a Pop 2 was going to be all that good, especially having to get rid of one of my own resources when I don't really have a lot of graveyard effects. This is popping off, kind of. 1 Prosperity. The extra deck is really tight, and I go through most of it. So I usually am only sending, like, the Rare Fish or the Utopic FO package if I know I'm not going to have enough material to get into it. So having this card is kind of a win-lose because you do want most of your extra deck, especially for turn 3, but it's whatever. We need the extra spells. Speaking of the Rare Fish, we are on to our Fusion package. which is only the 2 spells and the 1 target in the extra deck. Anything more than this, I feel like you would just be drawing a brick. And if we were to add more rare fish into the extra deck, we would lose space for our good stuff. So we don't necessarily want to do that. So I do believe that 1 instant, 1 ready is the correct ratio. We are on the 2 Foolish Burial Goods and the 1 Ice Barrier. It sucks drawing both of these, but I mean, that doesn't happen all the time. But this card is still pretty good on its own, even if it's in your hand, and you will not be able to send it off of the back of the Foolish Burial Goods. Onto our non-engine and staples, we got 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Imperm, 3 Droll and Lockbirds, 2 Nibs, and we are still doing triple Crossout. You do have more extenders in your deck now, so I'm really considering cutting this. Is the most cuttable card in my deck right now. But I mean, as it is right now, its effect, it's Crossout. It's Crossout as Crossout. But still being able to use this card in response to an interruption will turn on the Surfacing Big Jaws. So leading with the Buzzsaw Shark, activating its effect, getting Ash or Impermed off of that, then throwing down the Crossout, still getting the effect of your Buzzsaw, and then having the Surfacing Big Jaws be live for the special summon. That is still pretty good. So once I get Impulses or Mulch Armies, then this will probably go. And then the Called By, which will not go ever. And still has the same benefit that the Crossout does. In response to an effect, I can use it and then have the Surfacing Big Jaws be live. Okay, that's it for the main deck. Let's go ahead and look at our extra. We are on 2 Bahamut Shark now. 1 less than we were running before because we are no longer running the 3 Toads, but we are running 2 of the Toads. This is just in case there are situations where you might want to throw down 2 Toads instead of Toad and LeVirtue. Maybe if you already have the Virtue Stream in your hand and you have enough extension so you don't really need the effect to pull something back out of the graveyard. Then you can do the 2 Toads, but not always necessary. But off of the effect of 1 Toad, you will probably want to add back your Bahamut and be able to go into a Toad again in the next turn, especially because you're not going to really be able to summon very much else after you've gone full combo. We are on the 1 LeVirtue Dragon. Good card. I like it a lot. The Gundam package, we got Armor Fortress, Crystalzero Lancer, and Full-Armored Dark Knight Lancer. 1 Full-Armor Utopic Ray Lancer. 1 number 4 Stealth Kraken. 1 Abyss Dweller. So happy to be able to be running this in my extra deck now instead of in the side. Being able to summon it is now part of the combo. So it's awesome just to have this to kind of auto-win you against Yubel and Fire King. Hell yeah. Love Abyss Dweller. Utopic FO package. I know you do get waterlocked a lot in this deck, and if you are running Impulse, you don't have to worry about that. As long as you have Kraken on the field, this effect will still be live because everything will be turned into water, and you're not locked out of water under Impulse. But this also helps you clear your field a little bit. If we had more monster zones on the field, we could probably keep going and going and going. And if we had more space in the extra deck, we could probably summon like 1,000,000 monsters. And then we're running the 1 Dugaras, just in case you get the one of the Armored Xyz spell or traps. This can still help you go into your full combo. And the 1 single Rare Fish off of the effect of Instant Fusion. I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. I was streaming the first half of the deck profile, and I thought I was recording because I thought I clicked on start recording instead of start streaming. Yeah, I know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players can't read, ha ha ha. But this feels like a great time to plug the fact that I do have a Twitch that you can check out. So I'll go ahead and put it up there. And if you want to see me playing again with my friend Drake, then you can check me out here on the Roll of Threes Twitch, which I am live on every Tuesday. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a couple test hands. I already gave this a power shuffle, but I'll go ahead and give it one more good little shuffle. And a slice. All right. Not terrible, but also not great, if you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and see how we want to do this. We would probably start off with, this is why the Fishborg Harpooner is good, and so is also the Crystal Shark. We'll start with the effect of Fishborg Harpooner to summon it down, activate its effect to summon one, discard the other. So we'll summon the Fishborg Harpooner, throw down the Crystal Shark. We'll go effective Abyss Shark in the hand to summon it down and search us a fish. We're going to search our Buzzsaw Shark off the back of Abyss Shark. We're going to go Buzzsaw Shark and activate its effect to throw out our Xyz Remora. This is a combo that would make us weak to Nib, but that's okay. Hopefully. We'll go into the Baha. Effective Baha to detach. To get us our Virtue. Effective Virtue to add us a Virtue Stream. Overlay Xyz Armor Fortress. Effective Armor Fortress. Detach 2 to search our trap and spell. We'll overlay onto the Crystalzero. And overlay onto the Dark Knight. Push it up here into the extra. From there, we will go overlay into the Kraken. Effective LeVirtue to detach. To add us back our Xyz Remora. We go effective Remora to detach 2. And summon 2 fish. Overlay into a Dweller. We'll go effective Dweller to put our Xyz Remora back into the grave. We'll go full armor Utopic Ray Lancer by sending, or discarding a spell or trap. We'll discard the Armored Xyz. And we will go effective Dark Knight to add us back an Xyz card. We'll add back the Remora. Go effective Remora to summon by detaching 2. We'll go into Baha. We'll go effective Baha to detach. Go for our Toad. And then from there, we will set our full armored. We'll set our Virtue Stream. And we still got an Ash and a Droll and Lockbird in the hand. So what this board can do here, and in the end phase, of course, Reincarnation will go from the graveyard and equip itself to the probably Toad. So what we're looking at here, the URL doesn't matter so much right now, but we got our 3 bodies for the Utopic. We have our Toad for the Omni Negate with the Battle Protection off of the back of Unveil Mail. Our Pop 2 and by popping 1 on our field. And we got our Full-Armored Xyz Banish to equip onto our Dark Knight. During opponent's turn, we would obviously go Quick Effect Dweller to detach and shut off our opponent's grave. Then we would flip up our Full-Armored Xyz to go for these 3 into Drake of Future, no baby. And then we could activate this effect to detach it, banish it during our opponent's turn and equip the Xyz Armor Fortress to our Full Armor Dark Knight Lancer. And then we could go Virtue Stream after we've already used our Kraken pop to pop the Kraken and pop 2 on their field. And then we also got our Toad Omni Negate, in which we would activate its effect and add back our Bahamut Shark. Or you could add back some follow-up, but there's not really going to be anything to follow up with if you don't have the Bahamut Shark back in your deck. Alright, so that's kind of what you can do with this deck. I'm having a lot of fun playing this deck. Can play through a lot of interruption under the right hand. Plays well under Shifter. Sometimes can play well under Droll and Lockbird. Plays around Nib. So you have those big meta threats that that a lot of players have to worry about. You don't have to worry about them so much playing this, especially if you can get your Toad on the field first turn. But if you have any suggestions for how I can be playing this deck otherwise, this is like a budget version, so there's no impulses, no more charmies. I can see which cards I would take out to put those in. Namely, I would take out the 3 Foolish Burial Goods, or the 2 Foolish Burial Goods and the Ice Barrier. I would take those out, throw in the impulses, and then I would take out the crossouts, and I would throw in the charmies, or fucking vice versa. It doesn't really matter. But anyways, if you like this video, go ahead, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. You could show them the power of the Xyz Sharks. This deck is underrated, and I've won a couple locals with it so far. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll post some shorts, and shit. See you guys on the next one.